Kamara Drive-In. It's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, 2017 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alvin Kamara, fresh off a big performance a week ago, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready? 8, lead.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
I got you.
2nd and 6. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 68 yards.
That was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy that defenses had better focus on.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Lane, quick hitter here, it's complete. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Off play action. Lane. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They'll run. It's Sanders. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Let's take a glance now at the starting defense for Seattle. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They go back to the ground with Sanders. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And down inside the 15 he goes. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 14. And it's a clinic that we're seeing put on here so far. 6 for 6 first drive of the game for him passing.
You know I'm a defensive guy, and while I'm admiring the heck out of what they're doing, throwing the ball around, all I keep thinking is this is where the quarterback has to go down. You've got to ruffle his timing, change things up, get some more pressure on him, because right now he's way too comfortable in throwing the ball downfield.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down. Lane throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
He's always been an incredible decision maker on the field. Takes care of the ball really well, puts his team in the right positions, makes sure the play calls are accurate. Also was a minor league baseball player. Didn't hit very well there. I think he made a great career choice picking football.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
It's a long day for you. Strong right, strong right, strong right. 3 down, 3 down. Reload. 3 down. Mike 50.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Forced out to his left. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. And on this offensive unit, one guy that's proven himself early in the NFL is Eric Ebron.
A very reliable target for a quarterback. They always love tight ends because they're right in their sight.
So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the 2nd foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who signaled down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
This throw complete. Wilson finding Lockett. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That'll pick up the 1st down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
Check 3.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. Oh, nice move. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 22 carries, 93 yards.
As a good start to the season, they got the win, and they were able to establish a good running game. Nothing that just blew people away, but a nice solid base to get things started. And they expect that to get tuned up and get better as the season moves on.
Sliding out of the pocket, and now he's going to use his legs. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. 3-0 after one on EA Sports.
Mike 50, Mike 50. You got nothing today. You got nothing. Hey, watch that.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, you know, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
Like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd and 2, Lane got his man complete over the middle. That's Fletcher. And he's going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. This quarterback now 10 of 10 to start the game. How about that? As he comes up on a 1st and 10. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. As Sanders has it poked free.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys hit bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Back to throw. Lane, complete. It's Johnson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 30.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings up second and
able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back.
Ready. 30 base. Greystone travel.
They'll run with Sanders. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
On 1st and 10, Lane. Johnson's got it complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. On 2nd down, it's Sanders. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. Looking to throw. Lane. And this is caught at the 8. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Good job. Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And oh, it's no good on the PAT. So they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, there was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Check back. Joker.
On third down, they turn to Sanders. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here comes the Lions punter now. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
3 down. One plus. Mike's 50.
Throwing again. Wilson. And this is incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
Good job right there.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
So first thing that crosses my mind is, why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
On the draw, here's Sanders. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
You can't block me.
2nd and 11. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it, because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lane. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Break. Check. Walk 54. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
On 1st down, Lane. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And he's hauled away down to the 6-yard line. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Back to throw. Lane. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. From 6 yards away, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Until that late score here in the second quarter, they only had the field goal, so that's just big to see that football get into the end zone.
Yeah, when you look at the scoreboard now, nothing seems out of reach. They've been outplayed in the first half, but when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I do as the head coach?
What?
I tell my team to sprint to the locker room to show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game.
And he's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So after the penalty, we'll have one final untimed play here before halftime. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that.
14. Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
On second and 9. Wilson, the completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. On the ground, this is Kamara, and he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a second and 6. Play action. Now Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. Third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
I'm scared.
To throw on third down. Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Wilson in the offense not coming off the field. They're going for it on 4th.
Hey, 0, 0, 0. Mike 5-9, Mike 5-9. Here we go.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He's got Lockett. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
I'm going back to you. Front left. Check 24. Check 24.
Now Kamara. And he's taken down inside the 30. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He'll buy some time right. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Push him back. Push him back. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill. Wide. Check.
On the ground, Kamara. down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, this is Geis. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Buying time to his left. Now he'll pull it down. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
53, check 53.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Right back to Sanders on first down. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Now, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
The throw over the middle taken in. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Looking to throw. Lane. And incomplete. A drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Back to the air on second down. Lane throwing the out route incomplete. That's Fletcher. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Lions on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Lane. He gets this one to Johnson. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Check right, check right. Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Lane. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. When they need to play on third down, you kind of know what direction the ball's going, but the defense knew it too.
Yeah, it's a good call because they wanted to put 2 men on him, and they did. Dare him to throw into double coverage. Really what you're saying is, let's see if one of your other receivers can beat us.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They go play action now. Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. 1st down, Seahawks.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
12.
They go play action with Wilson. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 38-yard line.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on first and 10.
Under 10.
Kamara. $11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here. Well, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side. Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it second and 12.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down.
I'm coming after you. Alert. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Now Wilson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
You got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up second down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this second and 9. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in, and he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, but it'll be second down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And the Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They face a critical third down now, needing a score. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball, so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, second and right at a yard. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's second and 1.
Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down.
They run it again with Kamara. And an alley to run. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Alvin Kamara, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks.
Good job right there. Good job right there.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's it, baby.
Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
So now the Lions down on the scoreboard. Just over 1:40 to play. Field goals useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. Throwing on first down. Lane. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
He's going to let it fly. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? The guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field. Pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
Second and 5. Over the middle, complete. That's Holloway. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 13-yard line.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Second and 6. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A 9-yard touchdown grab as his guys are back within a single score. Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
So with 14 seconds on the clock, they've got to go with the onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 45-yard line.
So the victory here for Seattle, and it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises, really both sides did, but they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for the Seahawks, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.